And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz. 1 year anniversary. This is June 1st, right? And this upsetting, shocking night, exciting night that we had with Anthony Joshua, the unified British champion, or should I say the British heavyweight unified champion, versus the newly found challenger, Andy Ruiz. Kamal, counterpunch to you, brother. Madison Square Garden. Andy Ruiz ready to take on the world. Fat and happy, smiles. Anthony Joshua chewing bubble gum, looking like he just smoked a joint. You know, letting Andy hold the belts. Antonio Matthews, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. JS, counterpunch back. Robin Evans, legend of all shit. You mean Candy Ruiz. I'm not Candy Ruiz. I'm Andy Ruiz. It's not CR. It's AR. Yeah, that cat. Yeah, man. I just left the gym, man. Just left to, finish the run. So, I feel pretty good today, physically, and it just hit me that it's June 1st, right? June 1st is one of those days that we'll never forget, or we shouldn't, maybe in a few years, but then again, maybe not. We have a lot of Miami women broke AJ like they did. Hey. Femi, counterpunch, my brother. I remember what a night. Yeah, it was crazy. Loke, happy anniversary, counterpunch to you. It was it. Look, the night was crazy. Ruiz looked fast, didn't he? AJ loss was a blessing in disguise. Well, here's the thing. In hindsight, it was a blessing. He learned a valuable lesson. He learned he's not indestructible. He learned that, hey, he does need to stick and move, that some punches can take him out, especially replacement fighters, okay? So that is something that I do feel he really needed to understand. You can't fight everyone the same way. You can't go in, rush in, and attack. That ain't how you fight and beat all fighters. That's not how you do it. And I think he learned a valuable lesson that night, June 1st. But I feel that Andy was more prepared. Andy was ready, man. Andy was you probably seen Andy Ruiz the most motivated that he's ever been in any professional fight. Think about it. There was nothing else more important to win than that fight. And this is something I want you guys to understand about Andy Ruiz. Even if Andy Ruiz never fights again, Antonio Matthews, I'm gonna get to that. Great point. Great counterpunch. Let me get to this. Even if Andy Ruiz never fights again, what he did June 1st, regardless of how he came in the second fight, that made him $20 million. He became a multi-millionaire because of one point of time of hard work and dedication and strategy and will and heart, because he didn't have to get up. He was like, this big motherfucker knocked me down. Dude, ain't nobody knocking me down. Fuck this. Fuck this. I'm not getting up. The dude clocked me, right uppercut, left hook, bow, hit that boy. This boy fell on his back. He almost broke his arm because he fell like this. You know what I mean? He kind of, You remember what he said? He was like, please, God, help me, give me the strength. You know what I mean? But he got up. So that shows heart. Now, Antonio Matthews, Yeah, man, I did a video on that. I hope you checked it out. You know, the Joshua had $47 million. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. And look, even if, see, Forbes supposed to count. This is how they supposed to count a person's earnings. They supposed to count a person's earnings due to what they gross, not what they net. You know, because I remember, you know, some people tried to discredit Joshua, like, well, you know, that ain't what he took home. No, dickhead, it's what he made. Okay? The federal government, you know, she looks at it the same way. It's about what you based on that final mark, that final dollar, that top dollar figure, right? So it ain't about that. So yeah, man, it was some bullshit. Yeah, Forbes was on some bullshit, and then Forbes did some other shit too about that. They then went back and said, hey, yeah, or before that they said, well, he made 60 to 80 million against Ruiz, but he only made 47 million. Wouldn't that fight in 2019? I think it was, right? But anyway, it's crazy, ridiculous. AJ underestimated Ruiz big time. Hell yeah, Loki did, and he paid the price. You know what I mean? Jazz Rambo, counterpunch to you. David Bailey, first opportunity he went as hard as possible to prove his truth. June 1st, he fought tough. Have to respect it. David Bailey, excellent counterpunch, because see, from one night he received the second fight automatically. And then you got to give it to Al Heyman. Al Heyman actually had this guy, went to the bat for this guy to get them more money. Because remember, it was only supposed to have been $9 million. If you guys can remember, that shit was $9 million. And it was already on the first contract. But Mr. Al Heyman was like, hell no. He's the champ. Give him more money. You're going to a place, you want to have this place at a certain level 2 danger zone, so give us more money. And they got more money. So, you know, 9 million turned to 13. Look at it this way. Would you want to have a $9 million check or a $13 million check? All right. So I know how good and skillful Fury is, but I can't be the only one who thinks Joshua could finish him if he focuses his shots to the body and not the head. What do you think? Kanye Base. I'll say this about Joshua. Fury. That's going to be a chess match at the beginning. You know, I don't see, you know, Fury can come in and attack, but it would be brave, but it wouldn't be too smart. Okay. You know, that's going to be, I want that fight to be a war. I don't care who wins, because at that point, if you've seen an exciting fight, that's what you came for. You came for a fight that wasn't like a Manny Pacquiao Mayweather. You didn't come for a fucking boxing lesson. You didn't come to see Trinidad versus De La Hoya. You know what I mean? All these super fights that they were supposed to promote, you know, these big expectations, but they weren't shit at the end of the day. So, but 90, counterpunch to you. But work him to the body. I think he'll go to the body, because he did that with Klitschko, but we'll see. Davey I, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. David Bailey, AJ made upward of like 70 million as a challenger. Forbes is wild. Absolutely. It's bullshit. Muhammad Ali, what's up, champ? AJ took a good old-fashioned beating. I felt embarrassed for him. Yeah, it was fucked up. Look, I've seen a short guy beat the shit out of a tall guy before. I saw that shit. And it's the funniest shit. Like, physically, the shit's hilarious. Like, think about it. Some little motherfuckers, bat. You know what I mean? And the tall dude is like, dude, that don't even look like it's supposed to happen, man. That shit's rigged. You know? It's crazy. Young Caesar, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. John Doe, y'all know Kurt not gonna let y'all talk or discredit AJ. John Doe, are you been listening to this shit? He beat AJ's ass, man. And it was like, the shit is like, it just looked funny to see. It's some funny shit just to envision like this short ass dude handling this tall dude, man. You know, it's crazy. It is crazy. Joshua was mentally let down by Miller popping dirty. He wanted to smoke Miller because of his mouth, i.e. mama comments. Yeah, he wanted to fuck him up. And it's almost like you really want to fight because somebody talked shit, talked up the fight, promoted the fight, got himself involved in the fight, and fucked it all up. Jarrell Miller did that. You guys understand that? He fucked it all up. Like, you talked all that shit just to pop dirty? Was that your mission? It was wild, man. Like, I didn't understand. Like, damn, you motherfuckers was supposed to fight. And then Jarrell Miller, you know, and then he really fucked himself because, see, now he's thrown in there with all the other cheats, all the other people. And then, see, probably the dirtiest person in the last 10 years, 10, 15 years, was Antonio Margarito. And the last place you want to be placed is beside that motherfucker. You don't want to be placed nowhere in that category. Because, see, Antonio Margarito, he had problem. Matter of fact, his eye was so fucked up because Pacquiao did Cotto a solid by breaking his shit when they fought. And he couldn't get fights after that. So it was justice in a sense. Sugar Shane beat the shit out of him. That's a fight I love to watch. I like to see the highlights. Just give me the highlights. I'll watch the whole thing, but you know what I mean. If you're short of time, just, you know, which really we're not short of time these days, not me, but watch the whole thing. But Antonio Margarito, people question his legitimacy, his punching power. You know, how strong of a puncher, how good of a puncher is he without cheating? Do we know that? And now people are going to ask that and think that about Jarrell Miller. I mean, because you can't tell me you took all them fucking drugs. You ain't never took no drugs before in your life. You know what I mean? Especially calling Anthony Joshua out the way he did, like he was the fucking fraud. He was the culprit. Yeah, man, come on, stop it, dude. You went from this to that. I know you've been cheating, man. I heard, man. I heard. I know you've been cheating. Get the fuck out of here. You was cheating. And you get popped for 3 substances. Come on, I mean, 3 banned substances at that. Like, dude, what are you smoking on? Like, what's your deal? You know what I mean? Like, how stupid could you be to test pop dirty? You know? Like, it's funny. It's like you're an employee at a job that's always accusing somebody else of stealing, and they catch you stealing. I mean, you let it be known, everybody. I just want you to know that I think so-and-so is stealing, and I'm ashamed of it, and then they catch him stealing. Dumb fuck. That's all I'm gonna say about it, man. I'd rather have an $85 million check. Hell yeah, Vic. Fuck that. Now, see, here's the thing with Anthony Joshua, though. He don't like to talk about money because that's not even the point. He's not one of all them old flashy ass fuck boys. You know what I mean? He ain't got to do that to make himself feel important, because a lot of people do. Because they don't, you know, they want you to know that they're doing good. You know, if you're doing good, why would you have to convince someone you're doing good? You're just doing good. So Joshua, you know, he won't really be talking about that. I was discussing this earlier. Fury and Wilder have fought 2 fights. Wilder versus Ortiz. Wilder versus Fury. And Fury has fought Wallin and Wilder in the year. Joshua only fought the Ruiz rematch. Well, to be fair though, Philip, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder were supposed to fight anyway. They were supposed to fight, but Tyson Fury took that deal. And he decided not to do that because he wanted to be more known in ESPN. But he did counter offered Deontay Wilder a deal, which Deontay didn't take. He's like, fuck that. He didn't take. In fact, he didn't take any deal at all. So I wish I knew what injury befall AJ before the Andrew Ruiz fought. Gentleman game. We'll know in about 10 years. He'll write a book about it. Or it would be best he waits about 4 or 5 years after he got himself established, got himself respected again, then write a book. You know, Tyson Fury wrote a book, right? He has one of those joints. I haven't read it, but I know it's out there. So. Fury Joshua won't happen, unfortunately. Well, it won't happen now. It'll eventually happen. Will it happen when the fucking buzz is? Probably not. You know. Mark Pringles Leaf. And a bunch of you don't get any bigger than him. Nicole Value. Yeah, but Mike did it his whole career beating bigger guys. Yeah, he did. Brittany Devine. I will inbox you later on your status of your shirt, by the way. It's odd how everyone in boxing says Fury is the best and he will beat AJ when Fury ain't beat no elite fighter since the return. Wilder can't fight and isn't elite. I still think Fury's unproven. Brittany Devine, there are truths to that. It's just, see, everybody's jumping on Fury's train. They're giving him credit for it because it's the last fight. And people are really looking at that fight as something spectacular because we don't know when boxing's going to come back. We just know what happened last. See what I mean? So it'll be one of those situations. Oh yeah, Samuel Garcia. Yeah, it's crazy. D Hodges counterpunch to you. Yes, before he left, I'm talking about since then, Jason. I saw all these temple shots AJ was getting caught with. It's crazy, like so many. If AJ wasn't concussed, I believe AJ would have knocked out Ruiz. That's if AJ boxed Ruiz and throws good hooks and combos. Yeah, I think he should. I think, honestly, I think Andy Ruiz, he shouldn't have another fight with Anthony Joshua unless he beats some real competition. You know, I'm just gonna be real, because the first fight that we're talking about was the gift. He got a gift. He got the opportunity. He got the payday. It was a gift. He made the best out of that gift that he could possibly do. He stopped the unified champion in 7 rounds. Wow. William Thompson, what is your pick for the question fight for the last 20 years? Mine is Castillo versus Corrales. Showtime. It was an action at its best. Man, that fight right there gives you chills when you think about it, because it was like something from a movie. And you know something, I'm going to go along and I'm going to go ahead and say this. Diego Chico Corrales was a beast. He got beat by Mayweather when he was 33-0. Mayweather was 24-0 with 17 KOs. So that was his 25th win. D-Town Blaster, thanks for the Tekken lesson, Kurt. Run it back. Hell yeah, I'll run it back to you anytime. Anytime. I'm going to tell you, the Trinidad Fernando Vargas fight was very good. Very good fight. I think also every fight in 2000 was good. Because remember, you had Barrera Morales 1, De La Hoya versus Sugar Shane Mosley 2 in the summer, Trinidad versus Vargas at the end of the year. And you had Trinidad versus David Reed. Okay, so he fought a lot of those guys. JS, KJ, or Kurt, AJ versus Pulev thoughts. Well, I think it's going to be a good fight. I just hope they're ready and 100% both fighters. Yeah, Ward versus Gotti was awesome. Lady Chan done dim season. Trinidad versus Vargas was the first fight I ever watched. You know what, David? You had a treat. You were spoiled that night. Trinidad knocked Fernando Vargas down 3 times in the first round. Fernando came back with a 4th round knockdown. Trinidad hit him low a few times. He took a point. I think he took 2 points from Trinidad. So it was even, right? Because Trinidad knocked him down 3 times. 4th round, he knocks him down. And then, no, Fernando Vargas, I'm going to tell you what happened with Fernando. They deducted a point from him for low blowing, which was crazy. You're super cute just saying. Lady Chan done dim season. Appreciate it. Thank you for the counterpunch. Untraceable Don. We all know Wilder would knock Chisora out in the 8th and 9th round. We don't know shit about Wilder. So, do you think Iron Mike could beat a legendary, an active heavyweight? Do you think there will be a Joshua White before Joshua? I hope not, T Solid. Fury has no intention of fighting White. That's his boogeyman. Thoughts on Tony Ferguson loss, though? Nope. Not at all. Kurt White versus Fury. Possibility. Things would have to transpire, really. You know. But the fight that we're talking about, get back on topic, was Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz. And Andy Ruiz, man, you seen how fast he could punch. And that was the first thing that I saw, like, damn, this dude's really quick. Because Joshua knew he was coming in with 1-2, while Andy Ruiz was ha, 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 ha. I was like, oh, shit. This dude's a fucking quick guy. You know, and Joshua got the best of him. And then he caught Joshua, hurt Joshua, and then he started teeing off on him. Yeah, you think Aaron has anything left to get Zach? Jeremy Williams, he does have some stuff left, but I wouldn't want him to prove it in the ring. Preserve yourself, Mike, please. Obviously, I want to see Fury and AJ. Mike Mootsing, I'm not a fan of Wilder, but I got a feeling that boy coming back very hard. He may, man. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Ruiz snuck up on Joshua. Yeah, I snuck him. I just dropped him. I started welling on him, let's see. Do you believe AJ will be the most in the end? I'm not sure. AJ, he still has a lot to prove to himself. He's still learning, so maybe. You know, I mean, he's still a young guy, and especially a young fighter. The King Wilder's finished. I don't know. I hope he's not finished. I really do. AJ versus Pulev. What's your take? It's going to be a tricky fight at the beginning. I think Anthony Joshua has to impose his will before Pulev, because Pulev can crack some too. Yeah, Mark. Because one thing about Wilder, if he beats Fury again, he would rather get a fucking fourth fight than a fight with Joshua. There's no doubt about it. That's even if Joshua beats Usyk and the other guy, he don't care. I don't know, David. I think Loma though. I'm leaning towards Loma, skill wise. Wilder couldn't even. Wilder couldn't even with British title. AJ walked the beast when he knocked down Ruiz. He shouldn't have. Ruiz shots is what did AJ in because he was coming back in the fifth. Yeah, he got whacked. I mean, he got whacked behind the head a few times. A lot of people don't realize that, but he did. The first two knockdowns, he whacked him across the head. No, he clocked them, people, but he whacked them too. Wilder is a protected fighter. Kurt, why did you make 19 videos on Tyson Fury this week? You're the biggest AJ fanboy on YouTube. It's getting embarrassing, son. Fury wipes the floor with Femi, the robot. Femi still fears Savon for, I don't know. Well, anyway, I don't know what FFS means, but Wilder is a protected fighter. Why did I make 19 videos on Tyson Fury this week? What makes no sense to what you're saying is, I thought I was a fucking AJ fanboy. Why didn't you just ask me how many fucking videos I made of Anthony Joshua? Which is stupid, man. People don't be thinking. Anyway, whatever. Keep up the good work. Tony G. Thank you, brother. Or are you going to counterpunch that? I don't know what DIV means. Deluded Wilder fans entered the chat. They do not think that you see any real competitors out there for Loma. Yeah, they are. I think Loma should grab his balls and go to 140 though. Because if he's just as good as Mayweather and Pacquiao are smaller dudes, man. Manny Pacquiao had to eat 2 or 3 times, like 4 or 5 times ago, just to keep the weight. Demetrius Smith. Counterpunch to you. What's going on? Kurt, you don't think promoters are lying by pretending that they want to have the big fights to be made behind closed doors when that's exactly the opposite of what they really want? I think to promoters, it'll help them as well. I think, I think that breaks their revenue stream too. They know what those checks look like. So Wilder can touch Fury, but Joshua can't. Too much is made on being a one-handed fighter. I don't know. Styles make fights. Where you get hit counts. Don't mind the haters, bro. Please keep up the good work. People will always have opinions. Of course. Appreciate the shout out, man. Wilder just seemed to have a clue what he was walking into, Fury. Artism, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. David Bailey, what's good, brother? Everything is good. Everything is good. I don't want a third AJ Ruiz fight. Pointless, in my opinion. Yeah, it is now. I mean, AJ, see what people don't understand. The only reason Anthony Joshua fought him again was to get the fucking belts back. The British Boxing Board said no world champion fights at first behind closed doors, so they won't. Be big fights. Just hope it's decent competition. Most AJ fans have Dunning Cougar. What's his best win? Klitschko, good win. Povetkin, who's Povetkin's best win? Marco Hook, embarrassing how you hype up his resume. Povetkin had a better resume than Bermern, what the fuck is his name? Estervern. Bermain Stavern. Yeah. Hell, counterpunch from Barbados. Julian Lewis, counterpunch to you. What's Wilder's best win? Absolutely. See, you got to ask for it. If you ask for it, if you want to, hey, you want to ditch it out, you got to be able to take it. Get him. Zaros two-time. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. What do you think of White versus Chisora in MMA? They're both talking about fighting in the cage. I don't know. I think, you know, I've read that yesterday about David Haye wanting Chisora to just go in there and do what he's supposed to do, but that's not going to happen, I don't think. You know, him going in there MMA, he just wants to fight. He just wants to fight. Dude, MMA is not the way if you're a boxer. You will get your shit fucked up in MMA. You know, they do too much. I watch the many videos and really appreciate the information on all weights. AJ UK in the house. Handyman, counterpunch to you. You know, I was just touching bases with you guys, man, and talking about Andy Ruiz stopping Anthony Joshua to become the first unified heavyweight Mexican-American champion. But anyway, you guys, it's been fun. I'm going to get on. I just left my run, getting a little tired. Thank you for coming on the chat. Everybody on the chat, you guys have been counterpunched. Please be blessed. And I'm out. Peace.